Oh, hello, how you guys doing? So, finally, I'm doing a video for you guys, the people that actually watch my videos. Um, like my videos, I get like you've already noticed between a lot of them I just get between 1 and 3 or 4 views. Some I get like 15 to 20, But there are the videos that I get a whole, like the ones that everybody wants to hear is when I talk about being transgender, um, which I don't even do videos about that because I'm not really interested in that subject. But like some of the videos I did on being transgender got they're over 100 views probably by now. I stopped looking at them, which is like a totally different category of thing. Obviously that's what you guys want to hear is me talk about being transgender. Um, so I'll just kind of help you out, kind of spell it out. Um, Another thing I want to talk about in this video is I get a lot of comments, just trolls, joking around with links to porno sites. I remove them because I don't want that I don't want, pornography and even sex isn't really what my channel's about. Obviously, I guess they're trying to say that I need to get laid, some people think that way. Ha ha ha, it's so funny, you know. I don't need to get laid. If I wanted to get laid, I could. I'll just kind of short story, but anyway, so I'll go over that just a tad bit, and uh, so that's like a direct response to the action to you guys, that actually watch my videos. So first, I want to talk about the gender thing, because that's a huge thing. It's like, holy cow! If you would just talk about being transgender, your videos would be like in a whole different category. That's obviously what people want to hear you talk about. The problem with that is that that's not what I want to talk about. I'm not interested in gender. I don't care about gender. I don't think about gender. It's not something that I don't like. There's not, like if you were in my mind, I don't say, there's nothing about me that I do because I'm transgender. I don't do, none of my interests, nothing, not how I dress, how I walk, talk, nothing I do ever has anything to do with being transgender. I'm just being me. And at first it took guts to be out of the closet transgender and be me. So I was, I was noticing what people were thinking and worried about it. But I've been doing it for so long now that I stopped. I don't care anymore. No matter what happens, it's happened a bunch of times before, so I'm just so used to it. Um, it can affect me though. I won't lie. Nobody's that strong that you're completely unaffected. Even if you say I don't care what people think, we all care to some degree. It affects us. And I'm a loner, so things can be kind of heavy, because it's not like, I'm my own support team. But I think that one thing is my tattoo right here on my wrist. Okay, like a lot of things about me are tattoos. You've heard the expression wears their arm on their sleeve type thing. That would, if you were to accuse me of wearing my heart on my sleeve, wearing my soul on my sleeve, dang it, if this would go in focus. I don't know, I can't get it to focus in. It says two spirit. See, two spirit. And then there's the transgender glyph or logo, whatever. So think about what this says. A circle means all you, like all of you, and oneness. So look, so a part of me is female. A part of me, it's kind of hard to see right there. See, can you see that's an arrow? There we go. See, part of me is male, and part of me is something in between. See, it's the female and the male together. So sometimes what I'm thinking, feeling, doing, and what I look like is female, male. So it's not like there are people that I can't remember what it's called. I don't know. I stopped caring about the subject, like I said a long time ago. Some people, like in the morning, they're dressed in women's clothes, and then by the evening they're in boy clothes, and they're this way, and they're switching back and forth and back and forth. That's not me. I'm just always a female. When I dream at night, I'm a female. When I talking to myself in my head, I'm female. When I close my eyes, I'm female. When I'm walking down the road, I'm female. When I'm dreaming of my future, I'm female. When I'm thinking about my past, I'm female. There's never a time where I'm ever male, or I'm ever a boy from my own perspective. So that's not true with everybody that's middle gender. But to me, what that symbol means, and it might mean different things to different people, is when it says two spirit on the bottom, that's not because I'm a Taurus Gemini mix, the Gemini part. You might wonder that. Maybe that's why I like that term so much, but no, that's what Native Americans called transgender people in their ancient history. In Native American culture, there wasn't two genders, male and female. There were three genders. There was the male gender, the female gender, and the two-spirit gender. There was a documentary about it. You can look it up on YouTube. Put two-spirit, Native American two-spirit movie or two-spirit trailer or something like that, and you can learn about that. And there's even some controversy within the Native American tribes about it, and blah blah blah, and even some bigotry and things like that. But I like it, because that's the reason why I like looking at me as a two-spirit, is because one thing that I don't like about our society as far as being transgender is like, if I'm like if I'm like Dio, like it's like, how come you didn't scream like a girl, and girls don't rock out, that's just, I'm a Taurus, so I'm stubborn, it's like we have this irritability about us. I don't have a lot of tolerance for people that think girls can't do whatever we want. That's a good way to piss me off. So for one thing, a girl can do anything. A girl can play football, a girl can rock out, a girl can climb trees, a girl can jump off cliffs into the ocean, a girl can fly spaceships, a girl can fly jet airplanes. There isn't really something that girls can't do because they're a girl, okay? So first of all, that just pisses me off. Girls can rock, and some of the best rockers out there are girls, especially nowadays. There's just like, by now, people should have noticed that girls can rock out. And as far as screaming, I was born a boy. It's like, why is it, if we're going to have transgender people in our society, if you guys are going to stop murdering us, then we're going to start existing, If you go back to the old ways and murder us, then we'll all be hiding or dead, and then you can keep pretending there's just two genders. But if you're going to stop murdering us, then the consequence of your actions is now there's going to be the third gender. So you might as well educate yourself on what a third gender is. There's not two genders. There's nothing in science and reality can back up the idea that there's two genders. So why don't you research what science knows about gender, about chromosomes, about genes, and about these things. There's not two genders. There's just no science to back up the two gender philosophy. There's three genders. Okay? Gender is a spectrum. Okay? So there's just no science to back it up. So it's irritating that, so what hormones do when you're born a boy and you go on girl hormones, what it does is it gives you, first of all, it's like a snake shedding skin. There's parts of a human, like a snake, that are like the skin shedding on an animal. Your hair, your skin, your pores, your fat distribution, and then just your hormones, the things the hormones do as far as your sexual attraction, your drives, the way you react to things. You know, those things are kind of like the skin shedding part of you, you know. But things that happen to, so the hormones give you those things. It gives you girl skin, which is not the same thing as boy skin. Girl skin is flat and drier. Boy skin has bigger pores, so it's bumpier and oilier, and that's why girl skin feels smoother, because it's flatter with smaller pores. Girl hair, it gives you girl hair because that's a shedding skin type part of you. It's the things that change become girl things. Girl hair is it's a lighter color, and when you say girl and boy, it's not like that there's girl skin, girl hair, and girl this and girl that, and boy this and boy that. We all have a different version. There's the girl, because when we were born, we all in the womb, we're all girls, you know, and then the hormones do things to you and evolve you and change you into something, you know. So some of those changes keep happening, like the shedding of skin, and some things stay that way once it's made that thing happen, you know. So like your hair and your skin, they're all, every 6 months, all the flesh inside your body and outside changes. So as it changes, it changes. It's about, by 6 months of being on hormones, you have girl hair and girl skin, girl pheromones, girl fat distribution, and things like that. But when you're in puberty, the things that happen to you in puberty, like girls grow boobs, okay, but boys don't. So when you're born a boy and you go on girl hormones, you're going to grow boobs because that hasn't happened yet. See? We all start out with high voices, but boys get deeper voices in puberty, and girls don't. They just keep their baby voices. The reason girls have higher voices, it's not because they have higher voices, it's because they still have their baby voices. But boy, in male puberty, it makes the girl voice turn into a man voice. So there's really just baby voices and man voices. Okay? When women get older, their voices get deeper because their testosterone level goes up. Okay? That's what, with menopause and stuff, the things that are happening is because you're getting more testosterone. The girls are. So older women have deeper voices than younger girls. Okay? It's because the testosterone causes a little bit more of a change in that direction. Okay? But once the changes happen, so when transgender people, trans mans instead of trans women, when someone's born a girl and they transition to a man, their voice does get deeper because that hasn't happened yet, and so things that haven't happened, it makes happen. See? So I've already gone through, so you have a second puberty. I've had a male puberty when I was 12 years old, like everybody, and then when I went on female hormones, that was my second puberty, and in my case, my second puberty was a female puberty. So it changed the fat on my body, and I grew boobs and girl nipples, but my voice was already deep, see? So but I know some trans women, they have really deep voices, so what you can do is, it's not a physical change. Those trans women don't have higher voices because of a physical change. The reason they have higher voices is because they've gone to a voice therapist and they've worked really hard, because it was a goal of theirs. They wanted a girl voice, and they wanted to talk like a girl and that. And what you do is you find your girl voice, and then you just keep using it, and then psychologically, it's something our brains do. If you talk a certain way long enough, your brain reprograms itself and then talks that way. Okay? But for me, the way I talk now is not actually how I used to talk before transitioning. My voice, when my voice is recorded, it actually sounds a little bit deeper. On these videos, my voice sounds a little bit deeper than it does in real life, and which kind of scared me at first, but I'm used to it. I don't really care. You get beat down, and you just, like, after a while, you just accept some things, you know. The courage to accept what you can't change, and the strength to change what you can type thing, you know. How bad do I want it, you know? I wished I could scream like a girl and sound like a girl, but it's all of our job to love ourselves, you know. I wasn't born a girl, I was born a boy and I transitioned to a girl. There's a difference between someone that was born a boy, that's transgender and stays in the closet their whole life, and someone that was born a boy and transitions female and lives the rest of their life transitioned female. Okay, because we're all affected by the choices that we make. So if I would have stayed in the closet, I would be a different person, and it would affect me in probably hundreds of different ways. I would be different in probably hundreds of different ways. It doesn't mean that those are more real ways, you know, more authentic ways, because it's natural to make choices in life and then be affected by it. So who I am today, it's who I am naturally because I've made choices. You've made choices too. We've all made choices, and the consequence is that it affects this, you know. So, and this is certainly one of those choices, you know. Going on hormones and the things that happen aren't really a joke. But at first, when I first was transitioning and I first was really starting to get somewhere, I was getting better at putting makeup on, and I was finding my look with clothes and stuff. And I'd walk into the room and people generally wouldn't notice me, you know. And then I would say something with my just total just man voice, and every eye in the whole place would look at me, and I would lose respect. People that liked me suddenly wouldn't like me anymore, and I noticed that you know, that there was a price to pay for just not caring at all. So the way I talk now is kind of a compromise between me and you guys. It's something. It was kind of like a deal we all made together, you know. You guys helped shape my voice to where it is now. I changed it a little bit and saw if that made a difference, and I just kind of put my voice in a place where I didn't piss off so many people that it was overwhelming, but yet I didn't impress enough people that I had to work any harder than this, you know. And then I just kind of got comfortable, stayed there, and now my mind has reprogrammed me. So now the way I talk really is the way I talk, but it isn't how I talked before. So it's kind of like I transitioned it like at the midway point, you know. If you listen to my voice, you can tell I was born a boy, you know, but at the same time, notice it doesn't have any of those really, you know, like when a man talks like a man, it's not ugly, you know, but when a trans woman talks like a man, you know, I mean, each individual is unique, you know, and to be appreciated for who they are, but I want my voice to be appreciated for what it is, because it was hard to do where I am now. I had to learn how to, men do these really deep things with their voice, you know, and I used to do that too. And I filtered them all out. I don't make those noises. If you listen to me, I don't really make hardcore man noises. But then again, I don't make hardcore women noises. I don't scream. I don't do any of those noises that men do either. My voice just kind of stays in this like middle zone that really is kind of confusing, really. But I like it because it communicates. It matches me more, you know. Like to talk the other way, it's ugly, you know, because it's a mismatch. You know, how I talk now matches better. If I talked like a girl, like if a genie came out of a bottle and I said, I probably would wish for that, knowing me. I probably would say, give me a total girl voice, so that I had a screaming, yike, girl voice, you know. If I had a voice like that, I would pass all day long, because, you know, every time people would think I was born a boy and weren't sure I would just like scream and talk real loud like a girl, and they would just boom. There would be no doubt in their mind. You don't realize what your brain does, you know. Things of your subconscious fills in gaps and things like that, you know. I mean, life would be a little bit better if I could do that, and I probably could if I worked hard, but I don't really want to. So yeah, I showed you this tattoo. Notice I put it right on my wrist. Like, I mean, it's like your wrist, like the most visible tattoos are on your face and neck and your hands, you know, because those are always exposed. and then your wrist, like right there, that's just like that's one of the most visible places to put a tattoo. So that, think about what I'm saying. Two spirit, transgender, then the LGBT colors right there, on the most visible part of my body, besides just like right on my freaking nose or forehead, Um, Basically, I'm just kind of just saying, F you guys, just, I'm saying, I don't really care. I don't want to try. I just want to just be me, I transition things up to a point, cut them off, and then I just want to, that's where I want to be, because you guys need to catch up to me. If you if you're expecting me to be the same thing as someone that was born a girl, then you must think there's just two genders. Get with it. Did you knowing you guys to make fun of it? You probably say, I don't believe in God. I believe in science. Well, follow through, man. Follow the fuck through. Learn what science says about gender. There's not two genders. Hello. And if there's three genders, Moses, and back in the day of the laws of Moses, they killed transgender people. That's like 3,000 years ago. Okay, so there's been, here we've been for a long, there's probably always been third gender humans, So it's just, think about what the improvements we're making in progress. That some of the progress is bad, some's good, but notice like the not being racist thing, and not being xenophobic and homophobic and racist and elitist and these things. It's really our only chance to hone our energy into things that are more useful, And transgender people, that's like 1-2% of the population or something. There's not very many of us. For us to be a priority, for us to be an alert, alert, for the alarms to be sounded because of a transgender person is a waste of everybody's time and energy. There's not enough of us for it to matter, really. But there is enough of us for it to matter as far as what we deserve, because we're good people that are useful to society. We're part of you guys, and you're part of us. We're useful enough that you shouldn't be cutting us off, because we don't deserve that, and we're all have our contributions to make, But then again, we're not. There's pretty big problems out there, Let's save our energy for the global warming and the abolishing war and systemic racism, and like some of the problems that would need our attention, Let's worry about that, So you're just gonna, if you really care about the progress of our species, you're gonna have to learn to, a good place to start would be learning to love and appreciate me. When I walk over, if I had a boyfriend, instead of saying, "Pooh, is that guy like a gay guy or something?" No, why don't you say to yourself, wow, I can see the advantages of that, It's kind of like the Van Halen song. A lot of trans women hate the Van Halen song, Best of Both Worlds, but it's like, yeah, sometimes women are so annoying. It would be kind of nice to have a woman that was part, like in perhaps convenient moments was kind of more like a man, and vice versa. Men can be so annoying, They're like so gross and dirty, but yeah, so it's like this smooth, soft, feminine, clean, mostly girl, but every once in a while at convenient moments, when the girls can be irritating, is kind of more like a guy. There's, something, I mean, like anytime there's some things in life, when you try to word them, it just turns out a catastrophe. That was kind of a catastrophe. It's like, oh, what did you say? It's like, oh my hell. Who the hell knows how to word that? But somehow you guys do know what I mean, don't you? That's so two spirit, appreciate. I'm a middle gender, a third gender that identifies and lives female, on female hormones, living the life. Do you guys know what epigenetics is? When you make a choice and you live your life, epigenetics is that changes your genes. It changes, so like besides the hormones and living it, breathing it, eating it, and doing it all day long, thinking it, feeling it, blah blah blah, all that, the bulk of the whole experience changes you on another level, chemically and physically, under a microscope. Oh, look at those cells and genes moving themselves around through epigenetics because of how this person lives and the choices they make. You know, so someone like me could be seen as a beautiful thing. You know, like, wow, that's pretty fantastic. You know, instead of comparing me to women, you know, to cis women, cis women, cis men, cis women, cis men. Do you know what that word means? A trans man or a trans woman is someone that transitioned man or transitioned woman, but a cis woman was born a girl and still is a girl, and a cis man was born a man, a boy and still a man. You know, um, so like, instead of always comparing me to other women, I mean, I'm 50 years old, 50, half a century years old. You know, comparing a 50-year-old trans woman to a 20-year-old cis woman is completely unfair to me. How the hell am I gonna compete with that? Look how beautiful 20-year-old cis girls are. I mean, cis women are. You know, I mean, I can't compete. You know, that would be completely unfair. But yet, that's what happens. You know, but 50-year-old cis women complain too. They're like complaining that they're compared to them too. You know, like with our movies and stuff. Why are movies about younger girls? You know, why aren't there more why aren't there more movies about 50-year-old cis women? You know, so it's kind of just a general problem for all women, whether you're cis or trans. But especially if you're a trans woman, it's like, oh, what the hell? That's an impossible standard, you guys. Learn. I just want to be loved and appreciated for what I am, you know. And also, it's not. I don't want you to say, "Hey, you know, I like that part of you that's a man." That would be an insult. Because to me, in my mind, I feel like that would make me feel like you're not really seeing me for who I am. Because when I'm in a room full of women, and it's women that know how to look at me with love. Most of the women, they're like, after a while they realize that I'm in ways I'm more feminine than they are, you know, more of a girl than they are. They're like, oh boy, you know, that's just not for me, you know. And vice versa, sometimes I'm looking at them like, oh, that's just, but that's just all women. Have you never been in a room full of females before? They're not all the same. You know what I mean? There's different, whether it's cis women or trans women, or a bunch of cis women with one trans woman, or a bunch of trans women with one cis woman, whatever combination you can come up with, even if it's all the same or different, blah blah blah. It's just like, that's not how people work, you know. Like, everybody's the strange combinations of this and that, and mixtures of this and that, and I want to be, you know, when people call me sir or brother or things like that, I'm like, oh, you know, but it's just, it hurts my feelings because it makes me feel like I'm completely misunderstood, and nobody can really see my soul or see me, you know, for who I really am, you know. And also, when I get misgendered, sometimes it makes me feel like they secretly are on some kind of campaign to take away everything I might want to do, you know, saying they shouldn't have the right to have romance or sex or drive a car or have a job or have an apartment. You know, it makes me feel like you're trying to take away things that I would want, that are the same as everyone else. You know, why shouldn't I be able to have those things, you know? But when someone calls me ma'am and uses female pronouns, it makes me feel like they're saying, hey, you know, I'm trying to understand you. I'm trying to see you for who you are and appreciate you. I have faith that you know more about you than I do, and I'm here to try to understand and appreciate you for exactly what you are. And I hope that, you know, that all your dreams come true, and I wish you the best. See how that means? Put yourself in my shoes. Hey, brother, how you doing? And you, male pronoun, male pronoun, male pronoun. You know, how would that make you feel? And then switch it around. Hey, ma'am, you're looking very beautiful today, sister. Female pronoun, female pronoun, female pronoun. You know, that would make you'd be like, oh, hey, you know, I'm beautiful and I can do it, and people care about me and they want me to succeed, you know? So this is already long enough. Just real quick on the sex. The sex is not a problem. Don't put video. Don't on in the comments. Don't put links to porno sites. Okay. First of all, guess what? I like men, not women. Why are you sending me links to naked women? I don't want. You know, I don't. And another thing, pornography is not hard to find nowadays. If I want to see free pornography of women, I don't need you to send me a link in the comments, you guys. I can just look it up. Just you know, you don't think I know how to find porn? You don't think I watch pornography? Okay, I masturbate like everybody else, and guess what? I masturbate to guys. Okay, I like guys, not girls, and don't send me links to naked guys either. Okay, because I don't need that. I can find them. That's not what none of these videos are about, pornography or sex. So just stop doing that. I know there's trolls and that's part of life nowadays, and you guys are a bunch of jerks, but it's just I just remove the comments and it doesn't mean anything. It just makes you look stupid. You know, it's like, oh, that's some pretty good advice there. What I need is to have sex with a woman. You think I'm a virgin? I was married for 8 years. I had sex 2 to 3 times a day. I've had sex with women thousands of times. Thousands of times. I may have had sex with more women than you. Okay? I've had sex with more women than I have men. Okay? So I'm far from a virgin. I know how to get sex. I know how to get pornography. I don't need any help. What I need is love and understanding. And what you guys need is to try to hear my message, because I'm smart and I have cool things to teach, because I spend a lot of time learning things. People that like me describe me as being smart. Some people say you're the smartest person I know. I hear that a lot. I deserve that. I was in special ed. I started out really dumb. And so the reason I'm smart is because I had to work harder than everyone else to know things. So when you do that, it just turns out really thorough and you end up learning a bunch of shit, you know? So there, that's my response to you guys, okay? You like the transgender things? I don't like transgender things. You like when I'm as sexy and feminine as possible? Not as a performance. I'll just be me, and if you like it, then that's good. But if you expect me to be something more, I'm just not going to do the performance. I'm not going to do any performances or anything. And as far as the pornography, I don't need that kind of help. Save your time, save your energy. And as far as the content, enjoy it, you know, come on. What do you guys, don't be a bunch of, like, one love, you know, one love. Learn to meditate, transcend ego, and learn how to love one another. By this ye shall know ye are my disciples.